to ask the Scottish Government whether it will provide an update on its commitment to deliver superfast broadband to 100% of premises by 2021.
Minister Richard Lochhead.
As outlined just last month in response to the same question from Mr Rennie, all homes and businesses across Scotland had the ability to access a superfast broadband connection by the end of 2021. And I am also pleased to announce that by the end of February 2023, the R100 contracts have built connections to over 20,000 properties across the length and breadth of Scotland, with almost 3,000 connections also delivered through the R100 vouchers.
Willie Rennie.
Yes, it was exactly the same question as last time. And it's exactly the same insulting answer as I got last time, because R100 has not been delivered, and the Minister fine well knows that. My home still doesn't have super-fast broadband, despite numerous attempts to get so. And thousands of other homes across the country haven't got it either, and many aren't going to get it until 2028. That's 7 years late. Now, the First Minister said that he wants to reach across the chamber and bring transparency to government. So rather than reading out the official answer, will the Minister tell me exactly what he really thinks?
Richard Lochhead. Minister.
The member may wish to recall that the Scottish Government's very ambitious and huge commitment to this rollout was a result of a lack of action by the UK Government, who actually have responsibility for telecommunications. And at the moment, 95.4% of premises across Scotland are now able to access superfast broadband speeds. And in total, the Digital Scotland Superfast Broadband Scheme has connected 951,000 premises across Scotland to fibre broadband, and that includes 30,680 of these premises within the North East Fife constituency, with 28,368 capable of accessing speeds of 24 megabytes per second and above. And I don't know whether the member himself has applied for the vouchers that are available and what conversations he's had with Openreach. I know that Openreach have actually connected people over above those in the contract as well. And work is continuing, of course, where particular issues have been come across in terms of the actual works themselves, which can take a bit longer in some cases than anticipated once the Openreach are on the ground. So that's fantastic progress that's been made by this Scottish Government over the years, plugging a gap that was left by the UK Government's inaction, and we should be very proud of what we've achieved in this country.
And supplementary, Jamie Halker-Johnson.
The SNP's promised but delayed R100 broadband remains years away, and access to fast, reliable broadband is still a postcode lottery for many homes and businesses across my Highlands and Islands region. So what does the Minister say to my constituents who, despite promises, repeated promises from this Scottish Government, are still waiting for a service which delivers even the most basics of what they need?
Minister.
Well, what I'd say to the member is the Scottish Government have been working flat out and invested over £600 million in this, due to the fact that despite telecommunications is reserved to the UK Government, for many years little, if any, action was taken by his own party's governments south of the border. So the 95% of households and businesses or premises in Scotland that now have access to superfast speeds have benefited from the effort taken by this Government. Yes, more does need to be done. I mentioned some of the physical barriers that have been come across by Openreach still have to be addressed, and it's very complex in some parts of the country. I know that from my own constituency, which the member will also be familiar with, and there are a number of homes where there are particular challenges. They could, of course, in many cases, apply for the vouchers, but there's different choices they can take. And it's really important we continue to work to overcome those barriers to make sure that everyone in Scotland has the access to superfast broadband they require.
And briefly, Beatrice Wishart.
Residents in Shetland and other island and rural areas face being left behind in the rollout of superfast broadband. One constituent who runs a business from home has been told she simply lives too far away to make a connection economical. Reliable internet is not a luxury, and it's certainly not economical for her business. The Scottish Government is responsible for the rollout of superfast broadband, so when will all my constituents be able to get that?
Minister.
Well, I am aware that, of course, in Shetland there are particular challenges for those who are very far from the infrastructure, and it's important that those constituents are made available of what help, are made aware of what help is available in terms of the vouchers. But it's really important that Openreach and obviously colleagues in the Scottish Government continue to focus on those that are the hardest to reach in Shetland, and I'm happy to ensure that she receives an update of the situation on the islands as soon as possible.
Question 7.